Good morning. This is English 7 for Friday, May the 1st. We're almost to the end, guys. Hang tight, keep staying focused, and let's get this all done. We're on page 201 in our grammar book. Now, you took a chapter test over conjunctions, interjections, and prepositions. Tuesday, in 2 days, okay, 2 more school days, you have a unit test. That unit test, as you can see at the top of page 201, will cover units 1 through 10. So let's look at the first section, because this goes way back to the beginning of the school year. It says manuscript form, capitalization, and punctuation. They want us to cross out each incorrect small letter and write the correct letter above it. And then they want us to add all necessary punctuation. I wrote a first couple of these on the board for us, and I want us to look at them. Yes, the teacher of literature 404, Dr. D.N. Newman, attended Oxford University. Let's go through this sentence and find all of the problems with it. Well, the first one is the word yes. Yes needs to have a capital. Why? Well, because the first word of every sentence is capitalized. The next problem we see is, again, with the word yes, there needs to be a comma. There is a comma after introductory words yes, no, oh, and well when they introduce a sentence, okay? The teacher of literature 404. Our next mistake is what? Our next one is literature. Why do we need to capitalize literature? Now, if it had said English literature, I would understand that. But why this literature? Because any class that is followed by a number, for example, your writing mastery 1. Writing and mastery is capitalized because it has a number that follows it. All right, let's keep looking. Now we have Dr. D.N. Newman. We can see several mistakes there. It's his name. Of course, we know that we capitalize a name. Capitalize Dr. D.N. Newman. Now we also have some punctuation problems. What is that? Well, doctor is an abbreviation, so we're going to need to put a period after that. So D and N are abbreviations, so they also need a period after them. Okay, so yes, comma, the teacher of literature 404, Dr. D.N. Newman, attended Oxford University. Okay, now we have one more, we have another set of commas we need to go in there. The fact that we are talking about in our sentence here, we're talking about who the teacher is, Dr. D.N. Newman. What is that? Well, if you remember from grammar, that is clarifying teacher, correct? So we're going to put a comma before it and an after it because it is an appositive. Okay, that is an appositive. Let's keep looking. It says, the next one we have is Oxford University. That is the particular college. So we're going to capitalize the O in Oxford, capitalize the U in university. Let's look at sentence number 2. I had everything the recipe called for except the 2 eggs and 1/4 of the oil. Okay? So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to capitalize the word I because it is the first word of a sentence. Also, we're going to look at the number 2. Should the word to be written as a digit or written out as a word? It should be written out as a word. Why? What's the rule? You write it out in words if a number is 2 or fewer. If it's just 1 or 2 words, we write it out. If it's 3 or more words, such as 126, that is 4 words. 126. It's 4 words. So therefore, that one we would write in digits. There's another mistake in this sentence. Do you see it? I had everything the recipe called for except the 2 eggs and 1/4 of the oil. 1/4 is an amount, so we need to hyphenate it. 1/4 should be hyphenated. Look at sentence number 3. Nora wasn't John F. Kennedy, who was born May 29th, 1917. The first president born in the 20th century. Okay? Your first mistake is her name. Now, out of habit, I already capitalized mine. but you'll need to capitalize your Nora in your book. What else? We need a comma after Nora. Why? Because Nora is who we are talking to. It is a direct address. Okay, next is the word wasn't. Wasn't is incorrect because it needs an apostrophe. Look at the next one. We have the word John. We're going to capitalize the word John, capitalize the F, capitalize the K in Kennedy. What else do I need to do to John F. Kennedy's name? I need to put a period after the F. Okay? So Nora, comma, wasn't John F. Kennedy, capitalize John, capitalize F, put a period after the F, capitalize Kennedy, who was born on May 29th, 1917. Who was born on May 29th, 1917 is a what? It's an appositive, so we're going to put a commas around that. There's something else we're going to do. We're going to capitalize May. What else? Put a comma between May 29th, comma, 1917. Now, there are two reasons we have a comma after 1917. We have a comma here because this isn't a positive. But we also, if it wasn't a positive, we would have still needed a comma after 1917. Anytime you have a month, day, and year in the middle of a sentence, you have to put a comma after the year, okay? So let's continue. It was the first president born in the 20th century. One more thing, we need a question mark, okay? All right, I want you to look at number 4 and number 5 later. Let's skip down to exercise B, okay? Exercise B. They want us to draw 2 lines under each verb and 1 line under each subject. So let's read this together. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to purity. Okay, now what is the verb? What's the action in our sentence? The word is. How do you know the word is a verb? Because the word is always a verb because it is a being verb. What are the being verbs? Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and been. Anytime you see those being verbs standing alone, they are acting as a linking verb. Now, they can be a helping verb if there's an action verb following. In this sentence, there is not. What is the other action? Tendeth. Tendeth. Okay? Who or what is? Prophet. So prophet is our subject. Draw 1 line under prophet. Who or what tendeth? Talk. You should not have said lips. If you said lips, you forgot to mark that prepositional phrase. Okay? Talk tendeth. Look at number 2. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is referring to Jesus, and we're talking about Psalms 118, verse 22. So, what is the verb? The verb is refused and is become. Which the builders refused. That is a what? That is a clause, okay? So that clause, which the builders refused. Who or what refused? Builders. Now look at your sentence without that clause. The stone is become the headstone of the corner. Is become. Who or what is become? Stone. So stone is our subject. Look at number 3. The drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Let's look for prepositional phrases in this sentence. To poverty and with rags. Okay? Now, what is the verb? Shall come and shall clothe. Who or what shall come? Drunkard shall come. Glutton shall come. A drunkard, we all know what a drunkard is. A glutton is someone that does something in excess. We oftentimes think of as someone that is eats an excessive amount of food, but you can be a glutton of other things than just food. You can be a glutton of video games. if all you do is watch video games and play video games, you can become a glutton of that. And the Bible says if you're a glutton, in other words, you have an addiction or you have you take an excessive amount of something, what does that lead to? It leads to poverty, okay? Next, who or what shall clothe? Drowsiness. Drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Drowsiness is someone that's lazy. If you're lazy, the Bible tells you that you'll be in rags. What is he saying? He's saying that you will never have success. You have to learn to have character. You know, that is one of the things about this online classes that has revealed. It has revealed some of you that need to work on being more motivated, okay? Let's look at number 4. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. What are your propositional phrases? Of the mercies of the Lord, okay? And what is the verb? Will sing. Who or what will sing? I will sing. I hope you sing of God's goodness. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. All right? So our verbs are cast and shall go. Who or what shall cast? You. You shall cast. Okay? And shall go. Who shall go? Contention. Who or what? Contention's a what? Okay? Look at letter C. In this blank, we're going to decide if it is a sentence, a fragment, or a run-on. I want you to stop. We're going to stop the video here for just a second. I want you to do this section. And then I want you to turn part 2 on. The reason is this is a section or a skill that several of you struggle with. I want you to do it in your book, then turn on part 2 because I'm going to give you the answers, okay? But it's to help you get ready for your test.